back, you're watching The Circle. Even though we're facing an affordable housing shortage, stop looking at me, it is possible to buy a place close to the city if you do your research. To explain how, we're joined by The Circle's real estate expert, Cashmore. Affordable housing.
Affordable housing, yeah, because we've looked at it before. So we've looked at these like really cheap houses before, and they're all out in rural areas where nobody wants to live. So we thought, let's come closer.
Some people do want to live.
Look,
Yeah, welcome to our regional.
That's right. So I'm really sorry about that. But that's why they're affordable, because they don't have the majority market. And most people in Australia, as we know, live in our capital cities. So we're very urbanised.
And most immigrants want to live in the capital
cities. That's right. Well,
cities.
it's where all the jobs are. So we don't really have any choice. Even if you want to live out of town, you know, you've got to travel inside of town to get your work done. That's right. So what we're looking at this week is where you can find the most affordable suburbs within 20 kilometres of the capital cities. And we're going to look at the 5 most for each one. But let's go straight into what's it worth and have a look at one.
This is a little place somewhere 10 kilometres from a CBD.
That's right, yeah. So 10 kilometres from one of our major CBDs.
Okay, so 3 bedroom.
Yeah, that's right. 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Now, it's classified as a unit because it's on a subdivision, but it's an older subdivision, so the land's quite big. The land's over 500 square metres.
Oh, that's huge. That's a great floor.
Do you know, it's not bad.
Beautiful old doors, bit Art Deco.
It is. It's a little bit Art Deco, probably just a little bit after
really
Art
cool.
Deco.
The horse can come up to the back there.
That's right.
It's in good nick.
Actually, transport, yeah.
Oh, look at those beautiful Art Deco cupboards. It's got a lot of character.
It does have a lot of character, and you know, this is the ideal home that you want to go after if you're a first home buyer, because you've got a lot of value add potential. In other words,
you can have a crackerjack veggie patch in that.
You can. You can have your Barbie out there.
Or your horse.
Or your horse.
So,
wonder where it is.
Yeah, it makes such a difference, I guess. But I'm going to which capital city it's near, but I'm going to say 375.
Okay.
I'm going to say 290.
Damn it.
I reckon it's in Tassie or something, because I've read the notes. To be that close to the CBD, it must be near to Hobart, but Tassie, Hobart's still a very small capital city. I agree with McEncrow. I reckon 300,000.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to go 240.
Oh, gosh, Georgie. The price is 241. Yeah! You win a unit! Yet, Yumi came very close second because you were right about the location. So this is Berridale. Let's have a look at it on the map, because it's 10 kilometres.
What a bargain! 241 grand for that.
That's
so
right.
nice.
But you say that's true, and you say it's a bargain, but you think about it, Hobart is a lot smaller than a lot of capital cities. So in relative terms, 10 kilometres is quite far.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't you be out of Hobart CBD, out of Hobart generally with 20Ks?
Well, you would do with 20Ks. I mean, but if you go 10Ks sort of out of it and you look on the map, there's not a lot that's around it, and this is the real key.
Well, a lot of people in Hobart have holiday houses that are only 20 kilometres away from Hobart.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And this is the real key, because you see, when you look at the list of where we can find them in a minute, we'll go round and we'll have a look at where the cheapest capital city suburb is.
So Hobart comes in at the most affordable within 20 kilometres of the CBD.
Overall, Hobart is the most affordable. But it all depends on how many houses that they're actually building out here. So this is a list of the most expensive, cheapest suburbs that you can find, and Hobart is the most affordable. I know that. Look, that sounds complicated, but if you look at the 5 suburbs, and it's all on the fact sheet, you can actually see that places like Darwin that haven't built outside of the city all that much, and they're much more concentrated, you're going to find more around that sort of 400,000 median value.
Yeah, right.
The median, the capital city median in most places is around $500,000 now.
Which is amazing.
It's hugely expensive, and if you're a first home buyer and you're trying to get finance, you're trying to save up, you're really priced out, and so you've got to go further from the capital cities.
Let's take Sydney, for example. So you're saying Sydney, if you're looking at the most expensive, cheapest property in Sydney's, in terms of 20 kilometres from the CBD, is still around nearly 455 grand.
That's right, yeah, and you just can't find them in Sydney. When you're looking at the house market, there are only 3.4% of suburbs to choose from within that 20-kilometre radius.
Right.
And that is ridiculous. And part of the reason, because every market has its own intrinsic details as to why this is happening. But with Sydney, they're just not building enough houses on the outskirts of the city, whereas Melbourne has had this big building phase where they've built these houses on the outskirts of the city. Let's have a look at the map and go around and see where the cheapest are. So keep an eye out for your city, and here you're just going to see where we found the sort of cheapest values within that 20-kilometre radius. Now, this is just for houses. Obviously, so there's a lot more choice.
Coolaroo, I've never even heard of Coolaroo.
I know. Well, you probably haven't even been there, but you know, these are
Canberra.
yeah. So these are just houses. There's a lot more choice when you're looking at units.
But 20 kilometres from the CBD in Sydney, in peak hour traffic, you could be up to nearly 3 hours.
Yeah, and
away.
this is the crunch. This is the crunch.
So you have to look at whether you've got public transport.
That's right.
And whether you've got infrastructure, because there's no point probably trying to save on that when you're then going to be spending almost half the day in the car.
Yeah. Look, since the beginning of the GFC, if you take the, inflation-adjusted data, our house prices dropped around 10%. So there is a lot more affordable real estate around, but the whole reason why any suburb is cheap in Melbourne or in Australia when we have population growth is because no one wants to live there, and that's principally why it's time. We're so centralised around our capital cities. It's where the jobs are, and if you can't travel within an hour to get to work, you can't live there, especially if you haven't got a train line or any
You'll find loads of good information on the fact sheet that Catherine has put together for us. Download it for free from our website or Facebook. And can you please thank Catherine Cashmore?
Thank you, Catherine.
Thanks again. Very informative. And now some more informative stuff from Nikki.